Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. So Sergio Regulion's transfer has created an issue because Real Madrid want to insert a buyback clause in any deal for the player. Now reports from Spain have said that Manchester United are leading the race to sign Sergio Regulion. And don't forget, Fabrizio Romano recently revealed that Sergio Regulion has been offered to Manchester United, and he's also said recently that he was offered to Arsenal and Tottenham. Now, there was reports coming out yesterday saying that Man United were planning to put a £25 million bid in for the player. Not so long ago, it said we may have to settle for a loan deal for Sergio Regulion. Now, it looks very, very imminent that he is going to be leaving Real Madrid in this summer transfer window. Because obviously he can't even get in Real Madrid's team because Zinedine Zidane prefers the likes of Ferland Mendy and Marcelo ahead of Sergio Regulion. Now, I think Sevilla are no longer in for him because obviously, Sevilla were keen on getting him on loan again. He was on loan with Sevilla last season and he made 38 appearances in all competitions. He also had a few loan spells with the Logrons. But yeah, Sergio Regulion has been at Real Madrid since 2005. And he has got a contract with Real Madrid until 2023. But he is valued in the £20-odd million range. Now, obviously, it'd be beneficial if Man United could get a left-back in. We have got two predominant left-backs at the moment, and that's obviously Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams. Luke Shaw's obviously our first-choice left-back, and Brandon Williams is our backup left-back. But we've also got Diego Dalot and Timothy Fosu-Mensah that can also be deployed at left-back. So possibly Sergio Regulion could be our second signing in this summer transfer window. But we have been in constant negotiations with his representatives. So, yeah. But he put Manchester United fans into meltdown recently, reflecting on his Instagram update. Saying that a move to Man United could be around the corner, and he's been following some of our players on social media. Now, I want to give you some breaking news on Alex Telles from Porto. I spoke with you about him yesterday night. So according to the Portuguese outlet Ebola, they have said that Manchester United's interest in Alex Telles has intensified. Now, his agent was in Manchester yesterday to thrash out a deal for his client to join Manchester United. Now, I think at one point Alex Telles was very, very close to joining PSG. The main explanation why he didn't join PSG is because PSG were reluctant to meet the €30 million that Porto were demanding. Now, Alex Telles is also a left-back. Would you prefer him over Sergio Regulion? He's obviously older than Sergio Regulion because he's 27 years of age. He has been at Porto for around 4 years. I think Porto did pay around €6.5 million for him from Galatasaray. His current contract with Porto does expire next year. Obviously, before he was at Porto, like I said, he was at Galatasaray, but he had a loan spell with Inter Milan. When he was younger, he played for Gramero, and before that, he was at Juventude. So he has played for quite a few clubs. But yeah, we probably would get him we'll probably get him in the £20-odd million range. I think Porto would expect an offer of around £27 million, but could be available for cheaper than that. So that is the breaking news on him. Now, I just want to give you some news on Thiago Alcantara from Bayern Munich. Now, reportedly, Thiago Alcantara has missed Bayern Munich training. Obviously, Liverpool are in advanced talks to sign the player. I think Liverpool are emerged as the favourites to sign him. Gini Wijnaldum looks very, very likely to leave Liverpool. And obviously, Barcelona are in for him. And Liverpool said they will step up their interest in Thiago if, Gini Wijnaldum was to leave them. I think Wijnaldum's contract with Liverpool does expire next year. Now, Barcelona have reportedly been in for Thiago. Don't forget, Thiago is a former Barcelona player, played for them when he was younger. I think it says that Thiago has got internal disagreements with Barcelona and I think Barcelona have recently dropped out of the race. But it recently said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer held talks with Thiago Alcantara in person over a possible move to Man United. He says, obviously, we're looking to hijack Liverpool's move for the player. Bayern Munich revealed their asking price. They do want around £25 million. He is a very cheap solution. For quite a while, Liverpool have been reluctant to meet what Bayern Munich are demanding because Thiago is available on a 3 next year because that's when his current contract does expire. Now, Thiago did recently spoke about his future and he's refused to comment on the transfer to Man United or Liverpool, and he did insist that he could end up staying at Bayern Munich. But he actually recently denied that he asked to leave Bayern Munich. But Thiago's remained loyal to Bayern Munich for several years because he's endured 7 years with Bayern Munich. He scored 31 goals in 135 games in all competitions. He's won 16 major honours with Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich did pay €25 million for him from Barcelona back in 2013. Thiago can play as an attacking midfielder and a holding midfielder, but he is predominantly a box-to-box midfielder and he is the age of 29. So I can't see Man United getting him on the board. Now, I just want to delve into some news on Jaden Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. So, we are going to negotiate a fee for Jaden Sancho once we have come to an agreement with his representatives. Now, we have been urged to end the pursuit of Jaden Sancho because obviously Gary Neville has come out and criticised the club about our desperate transfer approach in this transfer market. So there's a lot of confusion regarding, Jaden Sancho. There really, really is, because I can't fully sure that Man United are going to sign him in this summer transfer window. This Jaden Sancho transfer saga has gone on for a while now. And like I've said, throughout the course of this Jaden Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block. Borussia Dortmund's valuation is around £108 million. Obviously, Dortmund are looking for like £90 million up front. We said we was only willing to pay £60 or £70 million up front. But it's not only the asking price that is a stumbling block. I think also too the wage demands have proven to be a stumbling block recently. But he did recently say that we're set to finalise the salary and the fees of Sancho's agent before we do put a bid in for the player. But we already said, that we're not giving up on the signing of Sancho. And we'll only give up if he publicly says that he wants to remain at Dortmund for this season. Borussia Dortmund's perception on it, they are convinced he will remain with them for at least one more season. A few weeks ago, Sancho to Manchester United looked dead in the water because it is said we'd abandoned our chase for the player until the summer of 2021. And plus you had Borussia Dortmund's CEO, sporting director, and another one of their directors saying that Sancho is staying at Dortmund. But around 4 weeks ago, it was looking very, very imminent that he was going to be signing for the football club because Fabrizio Romano had come out and said that Sancho agreed personal terms with Man United and it said he was set to sign a 5-year contract with a football club. But obviously just after that got reported, it said that talks had broken down due to Borussia Dortmund's asking price. But Sancho is aware of the speculation, but he says he has no issue with the transfer speculation linking him with a move to Man United. But he just basically said recently that he's humbled by the £108 million asking price that Dortmund are demanding from us, but he wants to stay patient throughout the course of his career. We've already made a promise to the player that we are willing to offer him the number 7. Obviously, we have got number 7 vacant at the moment, but we have had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. I've already outlined the reasons why I want Sancho at Manchester United is because he's got a very good friendship with Rashford. He's very, very young still got a lot of development in him. I think he will exceed expectations if he comes to the Premier League, and he is predominantly a right winner. I think Sancho has endured 3 good years with Borussia Dortmund. He really, really has. Dortmund got him for next to nothing. They only paid £8 million him from Man City. You know, the main explanation why I left Manchester City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities. Sancho, I think, still got a contract with Dortmund till 2022. But if he is sold in this summer transfer window, you know, it'd be good from a Manchester City perspective because they'll get around 15% of the transfer fee. We have been looking at a lot of alternatives to Sancho now for a while because there's much cheaper solutions than him. We've obviously been looking at Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. We've been looking at Rabbi Matondo from Schalke. We've been looking at Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich. You know, we've looked at Douglas Costa from Juventus. So, there you go. But it obviously got confirmed recently that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said he wants to make 2 more signings after, Jaden Sancho. But yeah, obviously, we've got our first signing in this summer transfer window, and that is Donny van der Beek from Ajax. Obviously, we got him in a deal worth, was it like £39 million? Paid just over £34 million up front, with like 4.4 million in add-ons. Donny van der Beek signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United. That obviously keeps him at the club until 2025, and there's also an option of a further year. And I think, Donny van der Beek will complement our midfield fantastically well, and he'll go well alongside Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. We know that Donny van der Beek is going to be wearing the number 34 shirt, and he's going to become the 13th Dutch player to represent Man United. And I presume Donny van der Beek will be making his debut on the opening day against Crystal Palace. But we know that we need more than Donny van der Beek. Solskjaer said, he wants to make 3 more signings. Solskjaer has recently been frustrated with Ed Woodward. Main explanation is over the lack of transfer business. And I did say to you, didn't I, Man United were beginning to lose a lot of patience with the board. Because obviously our recruitment policy's been poor for several years. Obviously we've overpaid for players in that in recent years, and we've made a lot of bad mistakes in the last 7 years. Obviously, Woodward has said quite a few times that, he's determined to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in this summer transfer window. And he also said at the first part of last season that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe at the football club. Even when we went through that bad period when we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And also to the Glazers. They've said a few times that they are determined to back Solskjaer, but I think Solskjaer deserves more backing in this summer transfer window, because I feel as though he's definitely progressing as Manchester United manager. And he's even publicly come out and admitted not so long ago that Manchester United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window. If we are to compete with the likes of City, Liverpool and now perhaps Chelsea. But obviously, Woodward's been at the football club since 2012. So he's been with us around 8 years. And the Glazers have been with us since like 2005, and they've been with us around 15 years. Don't forget the other week, Solskjaer had made a promise to Ed Woodward that he will not make the same mistake as Jose Mourinho made. And he also given Ed Woodward some transfer advice, to sort out some of the mess that Jose Mourinho created at the football club. But this summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And like I said to you on one of my videos I did yesterday, it's around a month now until the summer transfer window shuts. And Manchester United have got a lot to do in the space of this month. Obviously, we've got to get the players that we do want in. We've also got to sell players as well. We could get rid of up to at least 8 players in this summer transfer window. Obviously, we're looking to get rid of the likes of Jesse Lingard. We're looking to get rid of Andres Pereira. We're looking to get rid of Smalling, Rojo and Phil Jones. We're also looking to get rid of Diego Dalot. Sergio Romero is open to leaving the football club. Like I said to you, there's two key areas where Man United are lacking. I think we've got to get a centre-half in. We've also obviously got to get a left-back in. So there's two things that Manchester United have got to do. I think also too, Solskjaer's got to put Dean Henderson as number 1 this season, because I think Dean Henderson is now reliable enough to become our number 1 goalkeeper. Dean Henderson has now got that experience behind him because he recently endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield United, and he was Sheffield United's player of the season. We got Dean Henderson at the age of 14, so he has been part of the club for several years. Dean Henderson's recently threatened to leave Man United if he isn't assured to be number 1 this season. He recently signed a 6-year deal at Man United, Dean Henderson, worth 120 grand a week, so that was very, very good news. But Solskjaer did say a few weeks ago, was it, that he wants to stick with David De Gea as number 1 for at least this season. De Gea has been our number 1 goalkeeper for several years. This season is going to be David De Gea's 10th season at Manchester United. He's obviously endured 9 years at the football club. And I think probably David De Gea's had 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been at Man United, because in the last couple of years he has been a liability, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he has made. De Gea has made around 405 appearances for Man United in all competitions. 300 odd of those appearances have come in the Premier League. But De Gea has won everything domestically at the football club, and he has won individual awards, obviously. And we paid just over £18 million for him from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. But when he does eventually leave Man United, he will go back to Spain. But yeah, Solskjaer is facing a goalkeeping dilemma. I think we've also got to get Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at the football club. Obviously to end the uncertainty over his future, because let's be honest, Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. He really, really has. It did recently say that Paul Pogba is refusing to sign a new contract with Manchester United because he's waiting for his former club Juventus to make an offer. So there's still a slight chance Pogba could leave in January, but I think he'll stay at Man United. His agent Mini Raiola a few weeks ago said that Paul Pogba is staying at Man United, and he said he will hold talks over a new contract. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. Obviously around this time, was it last year, Paul Pogba had made an admission saying that he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge. And he didn't only say he wanted to leave, he publicly admitted that he wanted to leave. He was relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid. There was talks about him obviously going back to Juventus. PSG, Barcelona and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Towards the end of last season, I thought Pogba was exceptional. He really, really was. I thought he his combination with Bruno Fernandes was good, but for the vast majority of last season, didn't have a perception on him because he was out with that ankle injury. Fabrizio Romano spoken about the Pogba, about Paul Pogba not so long ago, and he said that Pogba's happy to stay at Man United, and he even said, towards the end of last season that he was close to signing a 5-year deal with the football club. So Solskjaer's got a few things to do. By the way, up until the Donny van der Beek news, everything was going wrong for Manchester United, wasn't it? Don't forget, obviously we had the incident with Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire recently got given extra time off for his court case in Greece and his arrest in Greece, obviously. Also, Brandon Williams got injured. And Wan-Bissaka set to miss the start of pre-season training. Pogba, he recently got tested positive for coronavirus. Rashford, he recently sustained an ankle injury. And to be honest, we've had some more bad news recently. I think I updated you about it yesterday. Mason Greenwood and also Phil Foden got withdrawn from the England squad. Main explanation is for bringing girls back to the team hotel and breaking COVID-19 guidelines, and obviously the FA have been investigating it. So reflect on this, this has given another headache to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, hasn't it? But yeah. But obviously this season is a big test for Solskjaer because obviously this season is his second full season at the football club. And obviously this season we need to see improvements at Manchester United. I think Solskjaer's decision making has got to improve. I think there's still aspects of our game that have got to improve. I definitely believe that there's certain players that have got to improve. I think definitely Harry Maguire, there's aspects of his game that have got to improve. This season is going to be Harry Maguire's second season at Manchester United. And obviously we know that he's going to remain the captain. Last season was Harry Maguire's first season at the club. We got Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester last summer. So he's the second most expensive signing at the club and the most expensive centre-half in the world. I definitely think that Lindelof's also got to improve as well. If we are to get a centre-half in this summer transfer window, throughout the course of this season, he'll be one of our backup centre-halves. Lindelof's endured 3 years at Man United. We paid £30 million him from Benfica back in 2017. I think Wan-Bissaka, he's got to improve his attacking intent because that's what he's lacking at the moment. But I think his defensive contributions always been very, very good. Last season was Wan-Bissaka's first season at Man United, don't forget. We got Wan-Bissaka in a deal worth £50 million from Palace last summer. Towards the end of last season, though, let's be honest, Wan-Bissaka did look fatigued. But I think he can be our right back for the next 9 to 10 years. De Gea's obviously got to get back to his best vein of form. He needs to stop making mistakes. Bay, he's got to improve his fitness. I think Bay will remain at Man United for another season at least, despite the fact that he's injury prone. Luke Shaw, he's also got to improve his fitness because obviously, he's injury prone as well. I probably still believe that there's aspects of Marcus Rashford's game that I've got to improve. Maybe again his fitness needs to improve a bit. Obviously he's recently sustained an ankle injury. Obviously he was out with a back injury for us last season. But I still think he's definitely improved under Solskjaer. He really, really has. But don't get me wrong, I have seen improvements under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. I think definitely our recruitment has improved under him. So far at the football club, Solskjaer spent around, 250-260 million pounds. Last summer he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January he brought Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in. Obviously brought Ighalo on loan. Was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. Just after lockdown we extended Odion Ighalo's loan until January 2021, and we recently brought Donny van der Beek in from Ajax. Another good piece of news, Solskjaer's brought a few academy players in, so it's good that he's bringing a lot of young players in, and we have obviously got a lot of good young players coming through. I think we've loaned a few young players out at Man United. I think have we loaned? I know we've loaned Tahith Chong out. He went to Werder Bremen quite a few weeks ago. I was set to loan Dylan Levitt out and James Garner. I think we've loaned Joe Pereira back out again. So there you go. I think he's promoted the youth very, very well. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into Man United. You know, we've seen quite a few players leave. You know, we've seen the likes of Sanchez leave, Lukaku, like I said, Tahith Chong, Angel Gomez, Herrera, Fellaini, Darmian, Valencia, Ashley Young. You know, they all left the football club. So they are the improvements I have seen. But obviously, this season Solskjaer knows that he's got bigger expectations to exceed. I think our expectations this season will be to challenge for the Premier League title, because we haven't mounted any title challenge up in the last 7 years, and obviously, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. And I think another one of the expectations this season will be to win a trophy, because we haven't won a major honour for over 3 years, and that's the first time this has happened in over 30 years, and we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And obviously, Solskjaer's been at Man United around, 21 months now. I know he's been at the football club over a year and a half. Not long now though till the season starts. Very, very imperative that we do have a strong start to this season. Last season was obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the club. To be honest, we did exceed most expectations. Obviously got us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League, and we also finished third. But like I've said to you, the vast majority of this team is not Solskjaer's. Let's put into the equation, Solskjaer's inheriting a lot of players here from the Jose Mourinho era, still a few players here from the Van Gaal era, still one player here from the Moyes era, and still a few players here from the Alex Ferguson era. So he's still in the process of rebuilding this Man United team, but it's been a transition period at Man United for a while. I think Solskjaer's just got under 2 years left on his current contract at Manchester United. If things were to work out this season, then there could be a possibility chance that, he could extend his contract, and then more Man United fans will start to believe then he is the foreseeable future for the football club. But I want his managerial tenure to work out, I really, really do. But in the last 7 years, as you all know, Man United have been playing catch-up. We've had different managers with different philosophies. Obviously, we've sacked 3 managers since Ferguson left, and that was David Moyes. He got sacked after 8 or 9 months. Obviously, we sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite winning the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United. Another good thing as well, we've extended a lot of players' contracts, which I'm happy about. But we've still got around 5-6 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. But I think at the end of last season, Solskjaer outlined his transfer plans, and he says he wants Man United to make at least 3 or 4 signings in this summer transfer window. I think it said at the end of last season as well, our transfer budget is around £140 million. But the players that have really impressed me under Solskjaer is definitely Martial. Has done very, very well. Rashford's impressed me. Bruno Fernandes has been very impressive since he came in. Don't forget, he's won Premier League Player of the Month 3 times. Got him from Sporting Lisbon in January. Migalo's also impressed me. Basaka's impressed me. Fred, McTominay and Matic, they've also impressed me as well. Pogba impressed me towards the end of last season. Greenwood's also been very, very impressive. Williams, he was also very impressive last season. So, there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.